Who are you voting for
I'm
president?
voting for Donald Trump. If I have to vote from him from the jail cell,
Yeah.
I'm voting for him.
How about you?
Same here.
Same here.
We're
Okay.
going to straighten this mess out.
That's right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene recently posted this video of two of her fellow right-wing nutcases reaffirming their support for Donald Trump. And Greene would do the same thing on Fox News.
They have no policies to run on. The only thing they can run on is to continue smearing President Trump's name. And I just want to follow up and say, Maria, the more times they indict President Trump, the more people realize that the Biden administration is a communist regime. And for the first time, Americans are actually seeing what communism really looks like.
What? Marjorie, you just made that up. That is one of the most uninformed, uneducated, unenlightened comments you will ever hear anybody make in America. We live in a capitalistic society where there are classes. In communism, there aren't classes. But it just shows you how sad our country is in terms of the political process, because it's rotten from the inside out, where you have money in politics, corporate capture, corrupt courts and judges, and so many other factors that lead to people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump to gaining positions of power.
Every time you get indicted, I like to check the polls, because one more indictment that I think this election's over. One more. You get indicted for nothing. Can you imagine a guy? Let's indict my opponent. This becomes a third world country. But forcing me, nevertheless, to spend time and money away from the campaign trail in order to fight bogus, made-up accusations and charges. That's what they're doing. I'm sitting in a courtroom on bull because his attorney general charged me with something. Terrible. Why didn't they do it 2.5 years ago? You know why? Because then it wouldn't have mattered so much. You know, they want to take away your freedom of speech. Everything else would have mattered a lot less. And it would have been terrible because it's all bogus.
Those clips right there where he's joking about getting indicted and how he looks at the poll numbers every time an indictment comes down as if it's a badge of honor are exactly why Republicans love Donald Trump. Because he's entertaining as hell to them and he gets the liberals upset. It's not as if his policies help the bulk of his base or anything. He just feeds these people what they want to hear, playing on their emotion and lack of intelligence. Because these issues are what really matter to Republican voters, and they know they're not in the majority.
I'll also restore the Trump ban on transgender in the military. We're going to end that. You know, General, off the record, what do you think of transgender, sir? Is anybody listening, sir? What do you think? I don't like it, sir. And then I'd say to another one, you know, they're all afraid to talk about it, but, you know, I have to do what's right. Now pro-lifers have a tremendous power to negotiate. You had no power whatsoever. They could kill the baby at any time they wanted. They could kill the baby whenever they wanted. This moves the issue back also to the states, where all legal scholars want it back in the states, but you have tremendous power to negotiate. The Democrats, though, we're not the radicals. They're the radicals because they're willing to kill babies in their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th month, and even after birth. We are going to bring education back to the states so that each state will run 100%. We'll keep approximately 3 people in Washington just to make sure that you're teaching English, okay, as opposed to another language.
That is what Republican voters care about. Those are the issues they want to be brought to the table. Discriminating against marginalized communities with a passion, using religion to justify stripping away somebody's rights, in this case, the autonomy over their body, and then really abolishing all forms of public education. Let me say this. These issues are only going to harm Republican voters' communities and the entire nation in the long run. Our kids are going to get dumber and dumber if we're only teaching the English language in schools. Republican voters' kids might want to get an abortion, but they won't be able to anymore because of the laws and policies in place. And who knows? Maybe there's a Republican out there who has a transgender child, and then you're going to be harming your family, your own family. But who cares about that when you're owning the liberals? I guess that's all that matters to certain people, which is ridiculous. But nonetheless, that's the state of the world or country that we live in right now.